Welcome back to Aloft Aloft. Today's video is all about build powder, or as some may call it, the clear powder or translucent powder. But we're going to focus on calling it build powder because I'm using Nailboo's product today. Now, many of you know, or if you're new, you may not know, that we tend to use build powder to protect a glitter color because glitters tend to be sharp. So if you overlay it with build powder, it'll give you that smooth surface before you apply your top coat. So we tend to use it for glitter, but it should also be used for solid colors. And I'm going to explain why to you today. So the colors that I'm using are by Nailboo. I have Sunset Fog and Pink Lemonade out. I chose a dark color compared to a light color so that you can see the reasons why I feel the build powder should be used. Now, all I'm going to do is 2 dips for each of these swatches. I'm going to do one set of swatches that is strictly the dip powder. Then I'm going to take a second set of swatches and overlay them with the build powder. Once I'm done swatching, then I'm just going to apply a layer of Activator on top of each color. When you're doing any set, whether it's on your natural nail, on a polygel, enhancement, you always want to make sure that you apply a generous amount of Activator. And here I'm just showing you the brand that I'm using for the liquids, which is by Double Dip. Now here, after I applied the Activator, I realized I made a mistake because I haven't applied the clear coat yet. So I'm actually glad I did this on camera. So to fix that, all I'm going to do is wipe off all the Activator on a paper towel. And you can use alcohol as well to make sure that it's all removed. So I'm just going to wipe that off, and now I'm going to go back over that swatch with another coat of base coat because I still want to dip this into the clear so that I can give you a fair comparison. Now all swatches are ready for filing, but before I file, I first have to tap it just to make sure that I get that hardened sound so that I know that the Activator has dried on each swatch before I begin filing. Because if I file before the Activator is dry, then it's just going to result in me filing over wet dip and it's just going to be clumps everywhere, which is not what we want at any time that we do the process. So I am not going to actually bore you with how I file these swatches. I have plenty of videos showing filing processes and even one how to fix any lumps, bumps that you have before you decide to give up on your actual nail set. So I'm just fast forwarding through. This swatch is done. I'm not going to actually show the filing of any of the other swatches. As I said, I don't want to bore you with that process. Now that all the swatches are done, of course, I have to apply one more coat of activator and let that dry before I show you the final results of the swatches with and without the build powder. Starting with Pink Lemonade, the swatch with just 2 colors are on the left. The swatch with 2 colors and build powder are on the right. The reason why I choose to use build powder, especially when I'm using lighter colors, lighter solid colors, is because as I put my hand behind it, you can see that the one on the right with the build powder, it's not as translucent. You can't see through it like you can with the one on the left. When you only do 2 or 3 coats of color, you're bound to file off some of that powder during your filing process. Even if you lightly file, which is a case of when I use the 2 colors. I only lightly file this swatch, but it's still very see-through. When I applied the build powder on top of the 2 coats of powder, I had to file more than I did on the 2 color swatch. I had to file more with this build powder, but again, you cannot see through it. It is a more solid color, which for me is what I prefer when I wear solid colors. I don't want to be able to see through the nail to see my natural nail or to see light through it. Now, with the darker colors, I don't really think it makes that much of a difference. I actually prefer not to use a build powder on top of some of the dark colors because at times it can leave white residue or white spots over the color. I prefer to add an extra layer of that color. So if I'm already at 3, I may add 4, or I may add 5 if I realize I need to do a lot of filing. That way, as I file down, I still have a rich, solid color instead of adding a clear powder over top. But that, again, that is my preference. I prefer to have a more solid color than a translucent color like this one with the Pink Lemonade when it comes to light colors. And I prefer to have a more smooth, clean look when it comes to darker colors. So this is why I think build powder should be used when you're doing glitter, when you're doing a French tip, American tip, or even using the lighter solid colors. I hope you found this video helpful and that I was able to answer some of the questions I received as to why build powder is included in the kit and also why I choose to put it on my nails. So as always, thanks for watching.